The stars shimmered above the fractured universe like ancient witnesses, gazing upon the conflict raging through the vastness of space. The galaxy had become a war zone. Humanity had long held the dream of reaching for the stars, but never had they anticipated the reality: an intergalactic conflict with an advanced alien race, the Verthians. The Verthians weren't just an alien civilization. They were a ruthless empire that had conquered countless star systems across the galaxy, expanding their dominion without mercy. Their technology was far superior, their biology vastly different from humans. With sleek, biomechanical warships that moved with a grace that seemed almost alive, they were not just a threat but the greatest obstacle humanity had ever faced. For years, humanity had held the line, bolstered by their will to survive, fueled by their rage at the invasion of their home worlds. But despite their defiance, planet after planet fell to the Verthian armada. Only one hope remained: a secret codex, long hidden in the ruins of a forgotten star system, the Orion Codex. Legends spoke of it as a weapon of unparalleled power, capable of turning the tide in any battle. However, no one knew its exact form, or even if it truly existed. Commander Arik Valen, a decorated war hero and the captain of the battleship Arcadia, had been tasked with leading a covert strike team to retrieve the codex. His mission was simple: find it and return to Earth, or die trying. But as Arik stood on the bridge of his ship, watching the swirling nebulae outside, he knew this would be anything but simple. The Arcadia was the pride of the Terran fleet, a massive, heavily armed warship capable of holding its own in battle. Yet, even with all its firepower, Arik knew they were woefully outmatched against the Verthians. "Sir, we're approaching the coordinates," came the calm, steady voice of Lieutenant Mara, his second in command. Her sharp blue eyes were locked onto the readings flashing on her screen. "Good," Arik replied, his voice low but filled with determination. "Bring us out of hyperspace." With a flash of light, the Arcadia emerged from the starlit tunnel of hyperspace into a desolate system. Before them lay the shattered remains of a once great world. Vast asteroids drifted in the cold vacuum, remnants of a planetary explosion long ago. This was the location the ancient star maps had pointed to: the resting place of the Orion Codex. "We're picking up strange energy readings," Mara said, her fingers dancing across her console. "It's coming from one of the larger asteroids." Arik nodded. "Send out a recon squad. I want that codex found." While the search team descended into the asteroid field, back on Earth, the war raged on. The Verthians had launched a full-scale invasion, their massive, predatory warships descending into the atmosphere of human cities. Resistance forces fought valiantly, but it was clear they were losing. Every day, humanity's numbers dwindled, cities turned to rubble, and the Verthian flag was planted on more planets. On the surface of New Berlin, one of humanity's last strongholds, Major Elena Greer led her squad through the ruins of the once great city. Verthian drones hovered overhead, scanning for survivors. The skyline was dominated by towering war machines, their sleek forms glowing with an eerie bioluminescence. "Stay low," Elena whispered to her troops. They moved through the rubble, barely making a sound. Their objective was simple: destroy the Verthian command post located in the city's core. If they could disrupt communications, it would buy Earth's forces more time. "Major, look," one of her soldiers said, pointing to the horizon. There, looming above the burning city, was a massive Verthian dreadnought, a ship so large it blocked out the sun. From its belly, swarms of fighters descended like locusts, attacking whatever remained of the human defenses. Elena gritted her teeth. "We don't have much time." Back on the Arcadia, the recon team had found something, a massive underground chamber within the asteroid. At its center was a device unlike anything they had ever seen. It was an ancient artifact, covered in alien runes and radiating a strange, pulsating energy. "Commander, we've found it," the recon leader's voice crackled through the comms. "It's here. The Orion Codex." "Excellent," Arik replied. "Get it on board and let us get out of here." But as the recon team prepared to extract the codex, alarms began to blare across the ship. "Commander!" Mara shouted. "We've got incoming. Verthian warships just dropped out of hyperspace." Arik's heart sank. "How many?" "Too many," Mara responded, her voice grim. "At least a dozen dreadnoughts, with fighter escorts." It was a trap. "Raise shields. Prepare for evasive maneuvers," Arik ordered, gripping the railing of his command station. The Arcadia lurched as the first wave of Verthian fire hit their shields. Outside the viewport, the space around the asteroid was alight with explosions. The Verthian ships were sleek, dark, and predatory, their plasma cannons firing relentlessly. The Arcadia fought back, its massive railguns and laser turrets blasting through the void, but it was clear they were outgunned. "Commander, we can't take much more of this," Mara shouted over the chaos. "Shields are failing." Arik's mind raced. He had to make a decision. "Order the recon team to return with the codex. We need to jump to hyperspace now." "Sir, if we jump now, we'll leave half the team behind," Mara warned. Arik's jaw tightened. He knew what that meant. "Do it." As the remaining recon team scrambled aboard, the Arcadia's engines roared to life. The ship made a hard turn, its hull groaning under the strain of the maneuver. With one final push, it leaped into hyperspace, leaving behind the chaos of battle. The Arcadia returned to Earth, battered and scarred from the encounter, but they had the codex. Arik stood in the war room with the High Command, watching as the ancient device was placed on a pedestal. Scientists and engineers gathered around it, working frantically to unlock its secrets. "We don't have much time," General Carter said, his voice gruff. "The Verthians are advancing faster than we predicted. If we can't use that thing, we're finished." Arik knew the general was right. Even as they spoke, the Verthian armada was moving towards Earth. It wouldn't be long before the final battle began. Hours passed, and just as the first Verthian ships appeared on the edge of the solar system, a breakthrough occurred. "It's a weapon," one of the scientists declared. "The Orion Codex is a weapon. But it's not like anything we've seen. It generates a massive energy field, one that could wipe out entire fleets." "Can we use it?" Arik asked. The scientist hesitated. "We think so. But there's a risk. The energy required to activate it could destroy everything within its radius, including Earth." Arik's mind raced. It was a gamble. A chance to save humanity, or doom it entirely. "We don't have a choice," he said. "Activate the codex." The final battle was a sight to behold. The Verthian fleet descended upon Earth, their warships darkening the skies. But as the first wave of fighters approached, a massive energy surge erupted from the surface. The Orion Codex, now fully activated, glowed with an otherworldly light. In an instant, the Verthian ships began to disintegrate. One by one, they were torn apart by the immense energy field, their once mighty armada reduced to dust. But the energy didn't stop. It continued to grow, expanding outward from the planet. Arik stood on the bridge.